Yeah, should be on by default whenever you plug it in. And all this is good. All right. So we're going to hit OK there. And now if we actually go to File and Capture, it's actually looking at the Matrox card now. Okay. So if we actually plugged in a component source, you would see an image here. And then if you actually hit Record at the bottom, that will start capturing it in. And then once you've started the recording, you would hit Record again to stop it. Okay. Or it'll even tell you at the top, it'll tell you just hit Escape if you want to stop. So that part is the same as every version of Premiere that I've ever seen. So that part should be familiar. Okay. Let's see. One thing that I did change under project settings is under scratch disks. I modified the captured video paths to all go to E. Because remember what we said earlier about there being 3 hard drives in here, and the E drive being your media drive. You really want Premiere to be using that fast media drive for everything. Okay. The only thing that Premiere should ever store on D is the actual project sequence. Okay. So like when you're saving the project right here, like File, and if you do a Save As, that goes to D, because that's just going to create a small little reference file, but it's going to be referring to all the content which is stored on E. Okay. Gotcha. If that makes sense. Now you can store these project files on E as well. If you want to simplify matters, you can just put your project file and all the media and everything can be together on E, if that makes more sense. But I tend to like to store my projects on the separate D drive, just so that when I'm browsing, I'm not having to look through all my media files to get to my project files. They're visible and immediately apparent, but also these are very small files. You can see this is only 498K. So on this smaller D partition, it's only going to use 498K. But on that big 4 terabyte drive, it might use like 4 times that. Okay? Just simply because the cluster size is so much bigger, Windows is going to waste space to store those small files on that big drive. Okay? That's just the nature of the way the file system works. Okay? Alright, so that's actually the hardest concept for people to get. If you understand that, then you're 90% of the way there. Okay? Is how you should store files on the machine to make things the most efficient. Okay? So system only for the operating system and applications, D only for smaller files, data files basically, like audio clips, project files, images, things like that, and then media for everything else. So any moving audio and video should be on the E drive. Okay? Alright, now down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and re-import some clips just to show you how to do it. All I have to do is come to this blank space over here, and if I right-click, I can tell it to go ahead and create a new bin, which is what I'm going to do first. And then under that bin, I'll open it, and then under here, I'll double-click to open up the Add Media window, and then I'll just select the clips that I want. So I'm going to use the Control key to multi-select these clips. So I'm just going to choose several, and then hit Open. And so now it imports them into that bin. And it's telling me that one has a problem. So I'll delete that one. Alright, now one new feature, this is kind of cool. When you mouse over a clip, you can actually drag back and forth and it will scrub through the file and let you see what it is. So that's kind of a handy feature so you can actually see what's in the clip. Okay, I can see that that's not what I'm going to use, so I'll delete it. Take that one out as well. Balloon clip, that's cool. Aztec Olympics, that's cool. Alright, so let's say this is the one I want first. If I double click on it, it'll bring it up here to the preview side and I can actually start editing it. Okay, so if I drag along the little timeline bar here, I can move to a point